Morning.
Morning.
Oh man, it's good to see you guys. I get a little chills, like little hairs you got like on the back of your massive biceps. So it's just like just pumped up. So I need help. Who can be a volunteer for me here, please? Yes, come on up, buddy. Will you make sure everybody gets one of these? Thank you so much.
Good job.
You can jump ahead or go behind, or you can take a nap. Do whatever you want. We only got 10 minutes. Hey, one more time. Good morning.
Good morning.
Man, I got to tell you, weird. What's up? I got this ringing going on in my ear, so I went to the ear doctor.
Someone's talking about.
Yeah, yes. Is that what it is? Is it money? I don't know what it is.
Money.
Oh, is that what it is? So, I don't know what it is, but I got my. It's kind of weird. So I woke up at 4 this morning and my ears are just singing. And I got this thing in my head, and I know I'm strange, I guess, but it was, I can, I must, I will. And I kept saying that over and over and over again. So I think that has something to do with what we're going to talk about this morning. Hey, my mom is 96. And it's hard to believe because I'm yeah, that's pretty cool. And my mom used to be a dealer. She ran cocaine from Bogota. No, just kidding. But she was a car dealer, and she. I know you wouldn't know by looking at me, huh? Couldn't tell what she was a car dealer. She's actually my idol, and I mean by that is she's got a lot of influence on me. So anyhow, one day, every time I go to Northern California, which I get to go this weekend and celebrate Christmas with her, but every time I go, we go shopping. That's kind of the thing we do. And we go to Walgreens. And she'll have her list of things we're going to do. So we go up and down the aisles. But I'm leaving, and we're checking out. And I happened to see a book. I kind of like books, so I grabbed a book. And it was written by a guy named Pat Williams. And Pat is the vice president of the Orlando Magic. He's actually, get this, the dude's written 100 books. Not many people have done that. And he's 70-some years old. And he's got 17 kids. Dude, how can you write 100 books and have 17 kids? 14 of them he adopted. So he's really kind of a big deal. And so I started reading the book and I thought, wow, this is good stuff. It was easy to read, a lot of athletic stories in there. And I gave it to my mom and I said, would you do me a favor? Would you please write in this book? And my mom wrote in it, to your successes and to your extreme winnings, I love you, you're not. And I've got that thing torn and I've got yellow highlighting in it. But that thing touches my heart, man. Anytime I want to get jacked up, I read that. Not just the book, but what my mom wrote me. Because it guides me. But that's not what I wanted to tell you. The why I wanted to tell you about this is I shared with you, and you've got in front of you, a copy of what that book says. And I'm going to share it with you in the next 7 minutes I've got. And I would tell you that Pat talks about there's certain things that people do to win. Now, we asked you this last week, man. Anybody want to be a success? And everybody in the room said, oh yeah. So who wants to win? We all do, man. But it's all different for everybody, isn't it? I mean, if you think about it, here's my mistake when I was 20. A few of you are 20, so you get it. I wanted to get to that wall. And I wanted to get there as fast as possible. And what went on now didn't even matter. I was going to take no prisoners. I was going to get there. I was a goal-oriented mother, and I just wanted to get there. And I put anything up my nose or anything that get me go faster, and that's what I wanted to do. And one day it hit me. That ain't working. And I realized I set myself up for failure because I was so worried about the future. And I realized I had what winning meant, more importantly than anything, you guys, is really what's important now. Because you got some of you in here want to own a 7-Eleven or 19 of them. Or maybe you want to own some nurseries or dealerships. I don't know. But but ladies and gentlemen, the reality is if you don't focus on what's important now, you ain't going to get any of it. Does that kind of make sense? So what the first thing that Pat talks about on that handout I gave you is that extreme winners have extreme dreams. And we talked about this a little bit last week, that I'm just a dreamer. And I really hope that for you that you are too. But what's it mean to be a dreamer? It means, man, I'm dreaming that I'm going to sell 20 cars. I'm dreaming that I can see myself get along with people. I'm dreaming that I go on great demos. I don't know. But if we focus on what we do now and what we're doing right now, Dude, and we see it before it happens. You think that might help us?
Yeah.
Sure. But here's what some of us do. Dude, I'm not really sure if I want this car business thing. You know, I'm not really sure if this is my deal. Well, let me tell you something. If we don't focus on what we're doing right now, you got dressed this morning and looked really good. When you got dressed, you got perfumed up, you did your hair mow, you're ready. You know, you came in and you made the decision to come to work here. So if we half-ass it, do you think that might affect us later on down the road when we get our 7-Elevens? Because you'll half-ass anything if you're half-assing something that you're doing here. Does that make sense? So I'm not the expert, I'm just a messenger here, man. Extreme, 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 extreme dreams. Gotta have them. And I would really see how you want to be, but also see how you want to be right now. I think we talked a little bit about that last week. The second thing he's got on here is all about us. And that's extreme preparation. And I got to tell you guys, I am so passionate, and you hear me say this about helping y'all. I want to help you. I want you to get better. But I got to tell you, I get frustrated. Because when I get frustrated, when I sit down in front of you, or I listen to a phone call, and you're calling up and you're doing a follow-up call, and you're saying, hey, Brian, this is Bart. I just want to follow up and see if you're still interested. Dude, I will guarantee you something. If you call a client and say, I'm following up to see if you're still interested, 99.99% of the time, what do they tell you? I'm still thinking about it. So what's the point? Great salesmen are prepared with what they're going to say on phone calls. That's why we give you word tracks. Because, look, phones are a left brain activity. Everybody get that? Well, meeting somebody is a right brain activity. I'm charismatic, dude. I can meet you, not have a clue of what I'm going to say to you, and you and I can get along great, right? But a left brain activity, man, you better have a structure. And that means you better know what you're going to say before you even get in front of them. Does that make sense? Because I know on a follow-up call, I'm going to say, thank you. Everybody say thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have any lingering questions? How do you feel about the car you drove? What do you like best? And the last thing I'm going to ask is, if there was one thing that stopped you from going ahead, what would that one thing be? Did I have to look on here? Why? Because it's conditioned, I'm prepared. I know before I pick up the phone, I've talked to him, or I've talked to him, or I talked to him and I have a game plan. Does that make sense? Preparation is critical in this, dude, man. That's why we have 8 steps and 12 steps. Preparation is critical. And so what I'm saying to you is, know this. If you have not read this, know it. You've got to know it. There's some good shit in here. And if you've got a script that you don't know what to say, come see me, I'll make you a new one. The next thing it says on here, may I borrow this, buddy, is extreme, what's that say? What's number 3? Dude, get this. I want a lot of things. I want to write a book, I want to do this, I want to do that, right? I got to focus on one thing because I'm ADD, and I got to focus on one thing. Your one thing is what you do right here, selling automobiles. Focus on that and get great at that. Then you'll get promoted if that's your dream. If your dream is to own a business down the road, focus on this first. So you now have the capacity to own a business down the road. Focus. That's the biggest thing with most of us because we got so much shit going around us. One thing. One thing. Figure out the one thing in 2018 and run toward that one thing, but do it one step at a time in the now. You know, Tony Robbins says it really good, man. It's great to have goals, but the reality is we've got to have minimum standards we do every day. Does that make sense? Focus. Guys, I get we're going through a lot in a short period of time. Read this, and maybe we'll talk about it again some other time. Next one, read the next one for me, Jose. What's the next one? Hey, dude, do I have passion? I mean, it's not fake. You know what my passion is? Anybody know what my passion is? It is, dude. If I'm serving you, I feel valued, frankly. If I'm getting ignored, I feel like shit, frankly. So my whole thing is, how do I serve? How do I serve? How do I serve? And I get it. I had a wise man tell me you're not going to get everybody in the room. You might only get one. But the reality is somebody in there needs to hear what you have to say. I hope it's all of you, but that's ego in my life. Are you passionate? So how do you find your passion? Find your why. You got to know why you want to do this. And also focus on what's important right now. What's the next one? My son, I told you, is a scout for the NFL team. I'm going to tell you what one so you don't make fun of me. But the reality is, he talks about grinding. Grinding. He grinds in front of a computer 12 hours a day, just like you do. And chances are he makes less money than you. But he's a grinder. Grinders lead to success. It ain't always sexy, it's not always fun, but the harder you work, the luckier you get. The harder you work, the luckier you get. Everybody say that. The harder you work, the luckier you get. It's a fact, dude. Work hard, get lucky, right? Work hard, get lucky. I love being lucky. Anybody else? Yeah. Work hard, you'll get luckier. Next one. What's the next one? Is there another one? Yes, there is. Look, what's a positive attitude? We've all heard it. I mean, land on this. Pilots, if they're going toward their destination, and pilotees, it's called going toward it's my positive attitude. So if I'm flying from here to Oakland and I'm going toward the destination, it's a positive attitude. Isn't that interesting? If I'm going away from the destination, guess what it's called? So as we land 2018, you think it's important to know what your destination is? Is it important to know what you want? And it's important every day to ask yourself this question, all the time, because I struggle with this as much as anybody in the room. Am I doing the most productive thing right now? When you're here, between boom to boom, ask yourself that question. Am I doing the most productive thing right now? If you're not, get on it. If you're taking a break, don't even think about the place. But everybody say that. Am I doing the most productive thing right now? Grab a book called Eat the Frog. Eat the Frog was written by Brian Tracy. It talks about time management. It's a very thin little book. It is a great book on time management. Anybody need any help with time management? Probably a lot of us. Great book, highly recommend it. And that's what he says. Focus on what's the most important right now. Cool? Yes, sir. Guys, Happy New Year. I hope every dream comes true. I do. But what I know about this is this. You have the opportunity to control how that happens. By how hard you work, by how big your dreams are, by your focus, by your intensity, by how much you serve people. Remember, you can get anything you want. Everybody say this. You can get anything you want. Anything you want. If you help enough people get what they want. Everybody stand up, please, and stretch a little bit, and I'm going to give it back to the coach. Okay? Say this after me a few times until we got it squeezed and we get it in our brain. I can. I must. I will. Think about that. Let that soak in. I don't know about you, but man, that gives me those biceps of mine are getting protruding with those little hairs. I'm just saying. I can. I must. I will. With some passion. I can. I must. I will. And I want you to think about that like a sick son of a bitch as you're going down the street and you're saying to yourself, I can, I must, I will. I can, I must, I will. I can, I must, I will. Because then you're focusing on what you want. You're going toward a positive attitude, not from what you don't want. Stay away from what you don't want. Go to what you want. And may your dreams become reality. Everybody, I can. I must. I will. Give a hand to me. Come on.